Welcome to this video. In this tutorial I will be taking a new operation in SQL, that is cross join or the cross product. That is very basic and very important operation there in SQL, and it is also a basic operation for all the other remaining joins in SQL. The first thing is that why we need a join operation in SQL, or what are the circumstances where we need to apply join operations. For that, suppose there are two tables as you can see on the screen that are student and enrolls. In the student table we have the information like student ID, student name and age, and in enrolls table we have the information regarding the student ID, course name and the credits, where the course ID, course name and course credits are the information related to the different courses in which a student is enrolled. And of course the student ID in the enrolls table reflects the different student IDs of the students who are enrolled in some of the courses. Suppose we have to find out the solution to this query, that is find the names of students who are enrolled in any course. Now look at the two tables. Student table, it has student ID, student name, but there is no information about the courses in which the students are enrolled. Now look at the another table, that is enrolls. Here you can see that we have the information about the courses in which the students are enrolled, but there is no information about the student name. Now if we try to solve this query on the basis of any one of these two tables, we won't be able to do that, because the information that is required is not present there in the single table. We have to join these two tables together to solve this query. That's why we need the join operations. If we have to solve this type of the queries that cannot be fulfilled by the single table, we have to join two or more tables together. And the SQL provides the different types of the joins like cross join, natural join, outer joins, and out of these joins, cross join is the first and most basic operation. Now let us see working of the cross join. Suppose we have to take the cross join of these two tables that are student and enrolls. You can relate this cross join operation with the cross product of the two sets. When we take the cross product of the two sets, we will be getting a third set where the elements of the two sets are paired in every possible way, such that a single element from the first set has been paired with all the elements present in the second set. The same approach is applicable to the cross join in SQL. So let us take these two tables and see how the cross join will be working. When we will be taking the cross product of these two tables, a new table will be there that will be having some of the columns that are present in the two tables. That is, if we have n1 number of columns in the first table and n2 number of columns in the second table, there will be total n1 plus n2 number of columns in the last table or in the resultant table. Now how the rows will be formed? The first row from the first table, and that has been paired with all the rows present in the second table. These are the rows from the second table. So single row has been repeated for all the rows present in the second table, and this process will be repeated for all the rows present there in first table, or we will be taking the next row from the first table, this one, and that will be paired with all the rows present there in the second table, and this process goes on. And if we go in this way, then definitely if we have R1 number of rows in the first table and R2 number of rows in the second table, then we will be having R1 multiplied by R2 number of rows in the cross join of these two tables. Now there comes a problem that when we will be having some duplicate columns there in the two tables, then how we can solve this issue, how we can identify those names or those duplicate columns. Now you can see that in these two tables we have the student ID as a duplicate column present there, and when we will be taking the cross product, we will be in ambiguous situation. We won't be able to identify that which particular student ID we are talking about. To resolve this issue, we need to put the name of the table together with the name of the attributes which are duplicate in the two tables, and that will be separated by this dot operator. So all the duplicate columns that are present there in the two tables should be written in this way, that is the name of the table dot name of the column. All the other attributes that are not duplicate can be written as it is. So in this way we can tackle with the duplicate columns. Now coming to its SQL implementation, there are three different ways in which we can implement a cross join in SQL. Let us take these two tables again. Let us first see their data. This is our student table, and these are the rows present there in the student with attributes student ID, student name and age. Then we have the second table, that is in roles, and these are the rows present there in roles with attributes course ID, course name, credits and the student ID, and of course the student ID is here a foreign key. If you don't know the concept of the foreign key, then you must watch my video on the referential integrity. So here the student ID is the foreign key that is referencing to the student table. Now how we can take the cross product of these two tables? The first and the very easy way is to use a comma operator for cross join. That is, if you have to take cross join of these two tables, we will be simply writing student then comma enrolls, and now run this query. Yeah, now you will see that we have obtained total 9 rows in the output, and also you can see that we have obtained this table as with all the columns present there from the two tables, and rows are paired in every possible way. Now suppose we have to find out that solution to this query, that is the name of the students who are enrolled in any course. Now how we can solve this query? For that we will be taking help of this table, and we will have to find out the irrelevant and relevant combinations present there in this table. Yes, we know that the cross join will be joining the two tables in every possible way. So some of the combinations will be relevant whereas others will be irrelevant. And how we can distinguish or how we can find out the relevant and irrelevant combinations? For that we will be taking help of the common attributes. Like here we have student ID as the common attribute. If we see the rows one by one, you will see that this is the data of the student 1, and that is relative to the student 1 in course table. So that is, we can say, a relevant combination, because it is expected that we are matching it with its own record. When we see this another row, that is student 101, that is again matched with student 101. Yes, because we can see that the student 101 is participating in two courses, that are this DBMS and this data science. So we need to consider this one also as relevant combination. Now coming to the next row, that is student 101, that has been combined with S102. So that is not a relevant combination. That becomes irrelevant because now this is the information about the student 101, whereas this is the information of the courses that are related to the student 102. So we must reject this one. So that is irrelevant combination. Now coming to the next one, S02, again this is again a irrelevant combination. So is the next one. You need to discard these combinations. Now the next one, that is S012. Yeah, that is matched with S012, and yes, you can see that S012 is related to the DBMS, so that can be considered as the relevant combination. Then coming to the next one, now you can see that in all the remaining three, S103 is present, but there is no S103 in these rows. So all these threes are irrelevant combinations. We need to reject all these three rows. Now in the green color you can see the relevant combinations and others are irrelevant. Now we need to find out a way to reject the irrelevant combination, or how we can remove. Yes, for that, of course, you know that we need to apply some conditions. Now if we have to apply the conditions in any of the joins, we will be taking help of the dot operator. So we will be putting a condition here, through where student dot, that is ID, is equal to enrolls dot ID, and let us see what it will be giving us. Yes, now you can see that only the relevant combinations are there in the output. The next thing is that we are interested in the names of the students. So instead of projecting all the columns, we can just put here student name, and now you can see that these are the students who are enrolled in some of the courses. Yes. Okay, so you can see that now we are able to find out the student names. The another way to implement the cross product is by using table alias. Yes, we can use the table alias, that is, let us suppose we have student table and enrolled table again, and let us represent student as alias S, and let us say enroll as alias E, and instead of writing this as student, we may write it as S and we may write it as E, where E is alias of enrolls and S is the alias of student. It will be doing the same thing. The another way to implement the cross join is by using cross join keyword there in SQL. That is, select student name from student, cross join enrolls, and we will be putting here condition on again the student dot sid and enrolls dot sid. We will be getting the same result. So in this way we can implement cross operation or cross join there in SQL. I discussed the three different ways. Hope you will be able to apply cross join operation to find out answer to the different queries in SQL. Thanks for watching the video.